can talk things over. Ease the pressure off your mind. Bring back memories of happy times. Baby, we can talk it over. Call me, anytime you want me. Call me, and I'll be there. Call me, anytime you want me. Call me, and I'll be there, be there. Call me, call
juggling steep. Every mickle make a muckle, every rich man a hustle. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Every mickle make a muckle, every rich man a hustle. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Even the bone for the dog, my pressure hit so hard. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Even the bone for the dog, my pressure hit so hard. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. I know what dating gets so what you can't carry through the yard. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. I know what dating gets so what you can't carry through the yard. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. The juggling steep, the juggling steep, the juggling steep. Yes, the juggling steep. The juggling steep, the juggling steep, the juggling steep. Yes, the juggling steep. Landlord come for the wreck me up, jump to fence. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Landlord come for the wreck me up, jump to fence. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Me can't think about pressure when the world under pressure. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Me can't think about pressure when the world under pressure. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. The juggling steep. The juggling steep. The juggling steep. Yes, the juggling steep. The juggling steep. The juggling steep. The juggling steep. Yes, the juggling steep. There is a crackdown. Oh now. So you got to get out of town. There is a crackdown. Oh now. So you got to get out of town. 1 o'clock, not a roadblock. 2 o'clock, me have it on back. 3 o'clock, them set a speed trap. 4 o'clock, it's like them bout to attack. Whoa now. The juggling steep, the juggling steep, the juggling steep, yes, the juggling steep, the juggling steep, the juggling steep, the juggling steep, yes, the juggling steep. Every mickle make a muckle, every rich man a hustle. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Every mickle make a muckle, every rich man a hustle. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Even the bone for the dog, my pressure ain't so hard. Oh Lord, the juggling steep. Even the bone for the dog, my pressure ain't so hard. Oh Lord, the juggling steep.
Even sorry, but I'm fit hard. Say Admiral come down with the new brand slang. And that the silent, it a mash up session. She putting boy, could have people say that a pupa song. Every time in talk, critical down man and woman. Come and listen, but it know with one different slang. Every time that me talk, it a mash up session. It go that's why I send a message to Manic. I make she know she's me only woman. Hear me now, no fussing, fighting, contention. And we no want in our little island. Why? Because me love what she say and she love how me dance. She say go on bunny Judy good man. Like when you come in a session, hold mic in your one. Everybody have to shake off your one. A worse when they see me, I'm a sexy woman. So me shout out, when you are down, I cannot take her you alone. Cause we can always go to dance or party. When you are down, she say, take her you alone. Cause we can always go to dance or party. Listen to me style and will listen me fashion. Listen bunny, general come very ram up the session. Every massive this a jump and a shake me on. They say easy money, can easy body good man. Cause when you come in a dance and take up mic in your one, them have to jump and shout and listen the champion. Cause bunny dream and a red bunny version. And when me come and dance it, dance a lot. They must run me and me woman apart. So me shout and say, when you are down, I can take her you low. And we can always go to dance or party. That's why me send a message to Manic. I make she know she's me only woman. Hear me now, no fussing, fighting, contention. And we no bringing away little island. Lord, because me love how she steal, she love how me tan. Ever see we in a style and pattern when we pass. Everybody see us with them want shake we hand. Cause they love it to a combination. Say Bunny and Manic, we love it fashion. So me shout out, when you are down, we can take a you low. And we can always go to dance or party. When you down, we can take a you low. And we can always go to dance or party.
Now this one dedicated to all the girls that are running the foreigner. And I'm soon left on one, gone to America. Even England or even Canada. Who call him? Who call him? We ball, girl I feel love way. Yes, them I feel love way. Girl I feel, girl I feel, girl I feel love way. Girl I feel love way. Yes, them I feel love way. Girl I feel, girl I feel. You know, if you only knew that you're blue, that a woman gives and you would never keep more than one. If they only see a foreigner fly down a gold chain and no ring, and them on them woulda leave them boyfriend and gone to that one. You know why? Cause when it's fall open wide, and the dollars show inside. There is only one thing the foreigner have to do. When him just rent a hotel room and show them the key, and the whole night them woulda off him body. What we call him? Foreign tete, we call him foreign tete. Get your low, foreign tete, we call him foreign tete. Now they call them nowadays, them have a new style. They don't want no man from for them country. They want a man lord from New York City. So every day love them have your rich currency. Catch him on the bike, them Kawasaki. So rental car, man of them a flashy. And they find out fly out and left them with baby with just foreign tete, we call him foreign tete, we call him foreign tete, we call him foreign tete. Keep it there, papa na get cashier foreign tete and shout it out 'cause you nah runway and kick out your foot and you no foreign tete and shout it out you no foreign tete. Just laugh after get cashier foreign tete and shout it out. No man can't get you.
First degree murder, yeah. Tonight if you're not, I'll be charged for a killing, yeah. For the killing of an American of some system. But I just can't understand it, yeah. How the champion becomes wanted. But it's a murder in the dance hall. Murder in the dance hall. Wonder from the champ and the next song fall. Tonight a murder in the dance hall. Lord no. Holding on witness, yeah. Holding on evidence, yeah. Just because the next song tries to chuck it all around, yeah. And now the champ has put him down. Lord no, that's why a murder in the dance hall. Murder in the dance hall. Wonder from the champ and the next song fall. Murder in the dance hall. Musical murder, yeah. The champ has gone a little further. Wonder played from the champion selection. He was a strong lead the competition. First degree murder, yeah. Champ turn up a little louder. This a musical murder, yeah.
money general, cause you know we not left it, you know. Cause music business run things years. Science! DJ with the stamina, and with the stamina, me have the DJ with the stamina. Follow me now. Me have the DJ with the stamina, and with the stamina, DJ with the stamina. You know, me is a dan in the country, I'm a dan entertainer. Listen, Bonnie General, come for nice of the area. Listen to me sons, and listen to me daughter. When me come a dance, sit down on the rhythm proper. Me and the DJ with the stamina, and with the stamina, the DJ with the stamina, and with the, follow me now, DJ with the stamina, and with the stamina, the DJ with the stamina. You know, sir, everybody in the ghetto, them a jump and rock. Say, go on, tell what be you want the cream and the crack. Now me flash me lyrics straight, Jah know me not stop. When someone hear me style, Jah know say them shock. They say, go on, general, you want the cream and the crack. I am the DJ with the stamina, and with the stamina, DJ with the stamina. You know, sir, I am the DJ with the stamina. Me have the stamina, the DJ with the stamina. Why you say that? Me say, down in the ghetto when me go set me plan. Me talk to the man and then me talk to woman. Make them know that Bonnie General is a rock musician. In a music business, me comfort and panel long. No policeman, no will make ya me go a station. Figure, chat me for rules and regulation. Every time them book me up, them know me's a rock musician. This is Bonnie General, and from the microphone stand. Come here, the DJ with the stamina. And with the stamina, DJ with the stamina. Follow me now. Me and the DJ with the stamina. Come with the stamina, DJ with the stamina. You know, sir, because down in the ghetto when me born and me grow, you know. No sufferation, I and I man know. I know me come and done and me a star up the show. Every woman, every man, them stand dance, panning toe. They say, go on, general, because you, they pan the go, cause you the DJ with the stamina. And with the stamina, DJ with the stamina. Follow me and tell me and the DJ with the stamina. And with the stamina, DJ with the stamina. You know, sir, me say, me is a you, them call me a rock musician. That a Bonnie General, they go on and permanent. And me bridging with the car, and me coming up.
Four season lover, four season lover. Well, I'm your four season lover. So no, you should never give your love away. No, you should never give your love away. No, you should never give your love away. No, you should never give your love away when the winter comes around and there's nobody there to keep you warm. Call me on your phone line and I will be there in no time. I'll be there to warm you up. I'll be there to warm you up. That's why I say no, you should never give your love away. 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 When springtime comes around and when the roses are bursting out of the ground, call me on your phone line and I will be there in no time. I'll be there to warm you up. I'll be there to warm you up. That's my little girl. No, you should never give your love away. 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 When summertime comes around, when the humidity is so damn high, don't stay home and cry. Call me on your phone line, I'll be there to cool you off. I'll be there to cool you off. That's why I say it, no, you should never give your love away. 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 When autumn comes around and when the breeze is blowing through the town, call me on your phone line and I will be there in no time. I'll be there to cuddle you. I'll be there to cuddle you.
American lord, X-rated country, American lord, X-rated country. Say in a man and you want 42nd Street. Give a man a walk and a kiss up on the street. Draw big stone, figure lick out one teeth. Me girlfriend call me Bailey, boy don't do it. This a gay man country, left them and them do it. Me no, say gay man on the at Jamaica, but they can't mag up and whip and no corner. Who will game man, them have gun. One have a 9, one have a magnum. One shot out of the gun, everybody start run. Them fire them shot until them shot it done. And when them shot done, man, me start lick them down. Every lick me lick the man, the word from me tongue. See girl there, go and go do your thing. See mule there, go and go game grass. You not like right mule, but you love right ass. No happy mind, no game man. 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 When game man a run, you know see where them turn. The fastest set a fella them in a jam down. Hey, no happy mind, no game man. No happy mind, no game man. American Lord, educated country, American Lord, educated country. So NFP man, the NFP man, give them one more, I made them money gala. NFP man,
It is fresh. About today, keep dancing this away. Dirty body, fresh.
hey, why don't you take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water?
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water.
Fresh.
If I ready,
Fresh.
super cool and
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water.
Fresh.
From your super cool and run you super fresh. Anyone will accept you as a special guest. No, he and she will do that at a special request. If you live in the country, you run go to the river. You live in the town, the stone and the clock and get off in your shower. They want to eat so you can be the regular. A man no want a woman if she fear the water. A woman no want a man if she fear the water. You know say take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water.
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water.
Fresh.
The London girls, they're super fresh. All Americans, they're super fresh. All Canadians, they're super fresh. Why not you take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water?
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go water.
Fresh.
From your super cool and real you super fresh. Tell them how them a go hold them fresh. Put the rock against the soup and rub it come next. Pass it across your back and over your chest. Under your arm and over your neck. Put it in every creases where you know dirt will let you. Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go hold her.
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go hold her.
Fresh.
Because ever ready,
Fresh.
super ready,
Fresh.
pants are fit,
Fresh.
shirt are fit,
Fresh.
blouse are fit,
Fresh.
shoes are fit.
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go hold her.
Fresh.
Take up a round and take up a soup and go and go hold her.
Fresh.
Jam is so massive, super fresh. Uptown massive, super fresh. Glide massive, super fresh. From young group of friends, me no say nothing with against you. All I know man, I'm on them of you and twist and request. Girls from east and from west.
I'm a done, then I always done a funny from the done. No link one, no, a done. Then I always done a funny from the done. CL, I'm done, I know is that the Havana. I'm done, I know is that the Havana. I'm done, I know is that the Havana, man. Hey, 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 the dance now, Rama till the pincers want the mic. Sing lift it up again, the joke all over. So we have the dance and the fire, yes. I ram it in the west, me ram it on the west. But I'm singing on the mic and it is no contest. I'm singing just because of your request, yes, true. I'm done, I know is that the Havana. I'm done, I know is that the Havana. I'm done, I know is that the Havana, man. Hey, 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 I'm done. Then I always on a funny from the done. No link, no, I done. Then I always on a funny from a done. Baby girl, don't try miss understand. Yeah, ooh, will you miss understand? Yeah.
Yes, greetings. We there with you. I get confused. Yeah, man, we there with you. We just a tickle Marcia. You see? Yeah, man. Marcia is a woman, you know. It's not a little picnic. So we are tickle Marcia. Show Marcia. So we come from a long, long, long space. So when I leave the African history, and it's the month, we are come back to the transforming of African Caribbean peoples. So if some of you did look up at your search engine and look at the Caribbean from way back yonder and see where your grandparents, your foreparents, them came from after they were captured and brought across the Americas and then into the Caribbean. Sufferation is all we knew, and sufferation is all we know, and sufferation is what we had to overcome. And we still don't have no form of infrastructure in the diaspora, because the transformers are the biggest number. There are more of them than rebels. There are more of them than the vibrators. And they're the ones that feel so they're English and they want to be British. And they have no thought for Africa or about Africa. But yet still their eyes can see what happened to what is happening to the Palestinians, and them ears could have heard what was happening and still is happening in South Africa. And the eyes have seen and the ears have heard all that happened in Zimbabwe. And history have shown us, and we have seen and have heard all that has expired in the United States of America and still do. And those who have transformed are responsible for a lot of death of ourselves. And if fear did not bring about wanting a state and demanding a state and just grabbing a county and running it, I don't know what else could. Because the atrocities that our African American, African family have experienced over the decades would have warranted or should have warranted separation and a revolution. But instead of that, there was so much compliance. Peoples go and gave their lives in other people's wars that the United States agitated. And then they come back home to people singing songs. And then feel good standing to attention to the national anthem. And we have the similar reaction and behavior in the Caribbean. So what they did was show how strong they are and eliminated Maurice Bishop. And look at us today, still. So we want to look at the word criterion, setting standards and principles and measurements and measures, looking at conditions, and at that me I say already. So fundamentally, what have we accomplished beside sufferation and surviving? The colonial infrastructure system that we all can recognize and have been recognizing, which is a social exploitation through governance and a brand called tourism. And tourism is a vacation, an industrial vacation or vacation industry for leisure. And it's structuralized by the previous plantation owners and the governor generals of those islands. And we, the population, the citizens on those islands, complies. Today. And they have told us, and even some of ourselves are informing ourselves, that without the tourist industry, the islands are doomed. They don't say, "Here what happened." God has allowed us to use our faculties to recognize a two-tier system that the colonial governance have left us within. And we are exploiting ourselves. And we have created, along with God, a leisure industry. But we haven't created it. We have sufficed a leisure industry called tourism for our colonial governance and bosses and their families, their children. And look at the word exploitation of the general population and make changes. This should have been something that happened all the way back in the 60s. But they know the history of the oppression, and they know the history of numerous revolts all across the Caribbean. And they grew to ignore it. And when we analyze how this ignoring transforming of a people's ideology and development, social development of themselves, we should see that there were so many who totally accept the colonial imperialistic peoples. Now the question is, why? How did that come about? And it's not through lack of knowledge or information of the experiences that their family and even them have endured. It's this Jesus. It's this theological practice and training. And Caribbean people, all the islands them, they all hook, line, and sink with that. And now where I see Africa, I sing big auditoriums, just like brothers and sisters them in the US. So we have lost our way. As African people, black people, who've endured so much suffering. And it's only through the mercy of God Almighty that we have sustained a survival within life. Because if we're not dead, we will survive. All humans, we will survive. And to survive is just to live. We know what depression and oppression is. We know. We know what exploitation is. We know. Everything that's demeaning, we know. We know very well. But we don't know what the criterion is. And most of what we know, and not what we perceive to know, what we know, we were taught through theological education. So we do not question anything that is outside of that realm of what we were taught. And we don't pursue any form of clarity outside of what we were taught. Because, for instance, Yeshua is the name of the man that Mary gave birth to. The European Caucasians refused that name and somehow found or created a name that meant, some of us feel so that name meant to be Yeshua. I haven't read anywhere where that is being explained. What we do read is Jesus. And many Muslims are guilty in following that. And the Muslims know Yeshua and them know Isa alayhi salam. Just like our Ethiopian brothers and sisters. And a great majority, a great population within the continent of Africa knows that too. But yet still refuse and follow the Caucasian dictates So what we should recognize is they have this great theme of influence. So we have to analyze this influence. Is it because of power? Nah. It's a power, yeah, but they dominated us. They captured in the diaspora, our ancestors, and brought us away from the land, rename us, and taught us what they wanted us to know. And they dissemble those at home. And then divide them. So structures that they had, they lost. That's why it's imperative that we in the diaspora look at the Muslim Africa or Islamic Africa and don't let people or prejudice deny that. Because Islamic Africa retain the intellectual sovereignty. I was going to use the word dignity, but it's a sovereignty because across the continent, wherever Muslims were, they retained but the same. And there were no one leader. There were some sultans, there were imams, there were amirs. But there weren't one Khalifa. So could you imagine if you knew anything about Al-Islam and there was a Khalifa? We wouldn't have been here. But the pride and the dignity was retained by Islamic Africans. Whether you like it or not. It wasn't retained, cannot be retained by something that wasn't there calling Christianity, please. In Constantinople, this word was hatched, just like the name, the word Jesus was hatched by these people. A Latin-speaking, communicative people. Latin. Africans only heard about the thing. No African not speak no Latin. Africans who were captured and taken to Rome. Yes. So I qualified that by making it clear. We heard about that. And we recognize some documentation that highlights that. And they embrace some real intellectual individuals from Africa in their realm. And that was supposed to seduce us? That's foolish. But that's what happened. They didn't supplant them for that purpose, but it seems that too we who were taught in these institutions of learning see them as models. And because what is painted of them is within a religious content and it happened to be called Christendom. Some of us probably have said, well, if it was good for him and him can sit in the Senate with the Caesars and others can sit with the Pope, and that me want. And that's what we've got. That's what we've got. Fatal attraction. But in the diaspora, why we got an infrastructure of our own? Taking care of ourselves. Because we haven't got a structure in the Caribbean. So there's nothing to emulate. We have servants that are called politicians. Not even governors, you know, politicians. Prime minister and so forth. But the real power is the Governor General. And that office belongs to Her Majesty the Queen, the governance of England. And every other social, alleged, recreational, tourism is governed through or facilitated through the Commonwealth. But we all want, the mass majority see themselves as British, want to be British. They have no aspiration, desires for Africa. So when we are afflicted with racism and discrimination, that's the only time that we see ourselves, those who follow them, see ourselves as African people. Because something have distorted us, something is hurt, or something is affecting us. And we plead with Olga to have some sympathy for us. So my question is, how long we're going to continue this pleading? And all they do is stay silent for a few months, and normality is resumed anyway. It's not being hindered, but for a few months. And the same thing would happen. It would show its ugly face again and again and again. So there's no point speaking about no Three Lions and the football. And now England wants to shift it to Europeans. So it's not a British problem as well. It's that it's European. They're trying to say on all their news stations that they're on top of racism and racial discrimination and racial exploitation and racial victimization and social exploitation of black people, African people. That's what they're trying to say. And then at the same time, they're saying to us, you must prove that you're a victim of what you're saying is racism. We need to know how you detect that and what it is. So they've changed a lot of definitions, but they also changed the goalposts. So, African history. Look at the Caribbean. We've been looking at America and all the inventions. Look at the Caribbean. Look at our development. Look at our growth. Look and see where we came from, where we were placed, and where we evolved. Because all my life, they stop us from seeing Africa. And when they did allow us, and I mean really allow us to see Africa, it was people who are starving, people who are afflicted with malaria, and so on. And it looked totally underdeveloped. So, beside Tarzan, Jane and Cheetah and Joy, there was no Africa. There's no Africa. We see England and everything that's English, including Go Home, Banana Skin, and Peanuts. Yeah. English people. But then when Sunday come or Saturday, and them smell the fragrance that was coming out of the house or the room, they stood in awe. And many didn't hesitate to ask, what's that? Can I have some? Wanted to taste our food. And then to realize that we had plates, dishes, knife and fork and spoon. Because them was using paper. The majority of them was using newspaper and paper, you know. Yeah. I think it's funny. Another one I try to tell people that them did this, and this. We and the Asian them and the Chinese them develop the people them. I tell you. Hygiene come from us. Cooking, you know. We should have had the best Hey, yo, the restaurants them supposed to be like the Italians and us, you know. We're supposed to run that. All restaurant business. Cause are we there with the food? Serious thing. Them thing you call cooker. We make those things work. Yeah. England and the experience of England, and we still playing games and suffering and leaving our children in the same condition. And we will die and leave them trying to figure out who they are and where they came from. And that only happens when they find themselves in juvenile detentions, Her Majesty Holiday Camp, i.e. prisons, are being profiled by the police. Then them start see them start looking into themselves. And this is the young men. Because most of the young women, they don't have it that hard, but they have institutionalized discrimination because they're in these offices, they have these classy jobs, rightly so, Yeah. So I want to relive some of the true vibration that kept us going. Those of us who recognize our foreparents, that vibration with the lyrical content, I want to bring that to the stage right here now. So I got to kick off with the mighty, mighty Diamonds, Diamonds, the continent of Africa, Diamonds in the Congo. Diamonds, man. Yeah, the mighty Diamonds. So here we go. The old man I play some tune. Rhythm, full of culture, yeah. Rhythms. Mighty Diamonds, listen.
Back where we the cartoon living.
Sure.
Back where we the cartoon life. Back where.
Mighty, mighty, mighty Diamonds. Yo.
Back where we the cartoon life. Every man think his burden is the heaviest.
Teach them.
And every man aim is to achieve the best. After the battle is the sweet touch of victory now. The violent, the sinner, the richer, the Lord. Do you even know? Back where we the cartoon living. Back where we the cartoon life. Don't you cry. Back where we the cartoon living. Hey, back where we the cartoon life. Don't waste your mind on using dope. No. Don't waste your life by sniffing coke. It's a terrible and serious joke, yeah. Those kind of things will get you off. Oh yeah. Back where we the cartoon living. Back where we the cartoon life.
Mighty Diamonds.
Back where we the cartoon living. Back where we the cartoon life.
Yes, Mighty Diamonds, man. Showcase we are run. See? Revolutionary mind. Listen keenly.
Those evil eyes and the way they look at me. Those beady eyes is gonna turn from brown to blue. The way they look at me, as if you want me on my knees. I'm a black African roots man, here to take my stand. No little beady eyes will get me on my knees. Those evil lips on the things they say each day. Keep telling your friends that you have me your own way. Girl, be careful, you will have to pay.
Hands by the mighty
I'm a black
Dean Fraser.
African roots
Yeah.
man, here to take my stand. No little chatty mouth ever gonna get me out. That fear of fear on the things they hear each day. You hear too much, girl, you really gonna go astray. You hear too much, girl, you really gonna go astray. I'm a black African roots man, here to take my stand. No little here is said, ever gonna get me how. I'm a black African roots man, here to take my stand. No little chatty mouth ever gonna get me out. Those evil eyes and the way they look at me. Those beady eyes is gonna turn from brown to blue. The way they look at me, as if you want me on my knees. I'm a black African roots man, here to take my stand. No little beady eyes gonna get me on my knees. Those evil lips on the things they say each day. You keep telling your friends that you have me your own way. Girl, be careful, you will have to pay. I'm a
Mighty
black
Diamonds.
African roots man, here to take my stand. No little chatty mouth ever gonna get me out. That fear of fear, the things they hear each day. You hear too much, girl, you really gotta go astray. Those evil eyes, the way they look at me. Those beady eyes, gonna turn from brown to blue. We have lost it. Where did we lose our identity? Now, where did we lose our identity? We're running around like a lonely sheep. Yeah, who lost his master and is gone astray? We have lost it. We have lost it. We have lost it. Yeah, yeah. When are we gonna join in unity? Tell me when.
Mighty Diamonds, we I tell you. culture. Activist, not a slave.
Where did we lose our identity?
Things in times, cultural expression.
Where did we lose our identity?
A lesson learned.
We're running around like a lonely sheep.
Mighty Diamonds.
Who's lost his master and he's gone astray?
Teach.
We have lost it. We have lost it. We have lost it. We have lost it. When are we gonna join in unity? Tell me when. When are we gonna join in unity? Everything else pleases Jah, but it's only man. Now everything else pleases Jah, but it's only man. We have lost it. We have lost it. Yeah, we have lost it.
Mighty, mighty Diamonds. May I tell you, man, shock out. Listen. Listen. Things in times, cultural expression. I tell you.
Where did we lose our identity? Where did we lose our identity? We're running around like a lonely sheep.
And the pastor them can't help with. Because him him name pastor. So we are running around like lonely sheep. So where's the shepherd there? Where is the shepherd? No pastor can deal with that, man. Pastor just dealing with the girls them. Unruly. Man called Luciano and the Mighty Diamonds. Things in time, cultural expression. Lessons
We have
learned.
lost it. Where did we lose our identity?
Into the diaspora.
Where did we lose our identity?
In England.
We're running around like a lonely sheep.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, who's lost his master and has gone astray? Yes, we've lost it. We have lost it. We have lost it. Yeah. Yes, we've lost it. When are we gonna join in unity? Tell me when. When are we gonna join in unity? Everything else pleases Jah, but it's only man. Yeah, everything else pleases Jah, but it's only man. 'Cause we have lost it. Yeah, we have lost it. We have lost it. Yeah, yeah.
Since we got so many things in common, why can't we live as one? God created man that he could live.
Where did we lose our identity? Where did we lose our identity?
See where I finish with that one there. Mighty Diamonds continually.
Prophets and prophets and
centuries. We need Marcus Messiah Garvey was born in jail. He spread his works far and wide over in the US of A. These are the words he say before he stepped away. You cut down the tree, no, you'll never succeed, 'cause the root is down, and it will spring again, for I know now, the root is down, and you cannot get rid of all of I and I now. The root is down. What is in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Oh, yeah. Later down in the century, Martin Luther King, he was a king by name and a king by faith. These are the words he say before he stepped away. One name, one God, one destiny, as I would say, yeah. The road is there, and it will spring again, so I know now. The road is there, and you cannot get rid of all of I now. Until the unliberated are liberated, then we know what truly dedicated. Marcus Messiah Garvey was born in jail. He spread his words far and wide, the US of A. These are the words he say before he step away. You cut down the tree, no, you'll never succeed, 'cause the root is there, and it will spring again, oh yeah. And you cannot get rid of all of I now, until the unliberated are liberated.
See, are we education that, you know? See, the cultured people, the people that never and would never forget Africa and would never dismiss our trials and tribulation in no matter which society it is, are to take place in this earth. But now we have a lot of people come with foolishness, and then we still have those who want to continue to exploit us, doing their thing. Huh? Joking. Listen, diamonds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You say, move, yeah. For you, a mafia. Me say, move, yeah. For you.
them time, them just bring pure badness. Gunman and some dangerous people then want to exploit the ganja. Cha. The Mighty Diamonds continually listen, man. I pray thee.
Every day I feel shackled, and this a buckle I go bring up. Every day I feel shackled around our feet. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeoisie. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeois. Every day I feel shackled, and this a buckle I go bring up. Every day I feel shackled around our hands. We can be treated like bees, just like a wild beast in a forest. Oh, yeah. Whoa. 3,000 years we found in slavery, and that's a long time, you see. But now we need love and humanity and stop brutality. But have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeoisie. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeois. Oh yeah. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeoisie. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeois. We can be treated like bees, just like a wild beast in a forest. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeoisie. Have a little mercy, Mr. Bourgeois. Oh yeah, we got to treat this like bees. Yeah. Have a little mercy in a forest.
I feel we still gonna tell them below it.
Here we go!
You gotta know your culture, man. You gotta know yourself. Why do the heat and rain and the people imagine plenty? Oh yeah. The kings of the earth set themselves against the Lord and night day. Mankind, full time, know your culture. You gotta know your culture, man. Oh yeah. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away them cosmos. Ooh, yeah. But Jah shall have them in his region and surely gonna turn them away.
Mighty Diamonds. Culture. Things in time schoolyard.
over there, you. Hey, you, sir.
So we're going somewhere now. Show some bars. Yeah. Feel it. At the time that Neville the Enchanter, Sir Biggs, Joe Creed, Sir Lord Power, I spin the turntable, big wheel, keep turning, wrong wheel. Listen lyrics.
Let's get together. Come on and gather round me, children. Let's get together and sing this song. Got to settle down, children.
Listen lyrics.
Let's all join in and sing this song. Sing it, boom, shaka-laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka-laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka-laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka-laka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey, wanna take the time to thank the Lord, thank Him for a soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land, even the birds with such sweet song.
Oh, labor. Go ahead, wait. Hey, you. Hey, you over there, you. Hey, you, sir.
Let's get together. Come on and gather around me, children. Let's get together and sing this song. You've got to settle down, children. Let's all join in and sing this song. Sing it, boom, shaka laka laka, boom, 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 shaka laka laka, boom, 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 shaka laka laka, boom, 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 shaka laka laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey, wanna take the time to thank the Lord, thank Him for the soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land, even the birds with such sweet song. Get it together. Can you dig it? Boom, shaka laka laka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, shaka laka laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey.
Oh, I saw you on labor. Go ahead, wait. Hey, you. Hey, you over there, you. Hey, you, sir.
time to thank the Lord. Thank Him for the soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land. Even the birds with such sweet song. Get it together. Can you dig it? Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Shakalaka, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I saw you on labor. Go ahead, wait. Hey you. Hey you over there. You. Hey you some.
Yes, Mr. Cuban.
Oh, I saw you on labor. Go ahead, wait. Hey you. Hey you over there. You. Hey you some.
Let's get together. Come on and gather around me, children. Let's get together and sing this song. You've got to settle down, children. Let's all join in and sing this song. Sing it, boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, 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 shakalaka, laka, boom, 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 shakalaka, laka, boom, 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 shakalaka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey, wanna take the time to thank the Lord. Thank Him for the soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land. Even the birds with such sweet song. Get it together. Can you dig it? Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey!
Yes. Lyrics. So we see principles standards is what the people them took us away from. We created something out of our existence, out of our ancestral spirit, and they want to relieve us of those things and paint Jesus in us. So the mass population of our people in the diaspora, you know, them hook, line, and sink that. So that's why we not trust each other, one another. And we have parting of the ways because most of the people them are following European dictates, and they feel them salvation is with Europeans. And it's difficult to change them because so they are set. And he who puts food upon them table through their efforts rings that bell constantly. So, self-love and black African self-love with dignity and reflecting on a culture and be proud of a culture is what is missing. So, true, we are lacking education institutions. That is not on the table. Because the thing that which will bring us back is culture. It's just the vision. Or just to ask ourselves, what is our culture? And you see that many of us are lost in that. They will just tell you, say, a carnival and more carnival. And the wise one out of them would turn around and say, our culture is rich because we're African. But they haven't defined anything. So we spend more lonesome times trying to be a member of the British population. Yeah, it needs to be exposed. Not we're going to leave this earth and leave our offsprings in a bad way. Look and see what happened, or is happening, or has happened, and is still happening, and it's been come to fruition of the Native Americans that were taken out of America and taken across into a place them called Canada on reservations. And see what's happened to them. And look in America and see what's happened to those same people too. On these areas with them called reservation. At least the elders train them to remember from themselves what their culture entails. And they are suffering. They have been suffering from back then till now. And the exploitation of those ones in Canada by the churches. And being used for all forms of experimentation. And the same thing has happened to African people in America. I have one more version.
Let's get together. Come on and gather around me, children.
My brother used to DJ this tune here. And Kong Ozzy, Lord Dave, Franso, and who else? Metro.
join in and sing this song. Sing it, boom, shaka, laka, laka.
Upton Lewis, yes, produced by Joe Create. This one here, produced by Byron Lee. Yeah, man. And this is Upton Lewis and the Chosen Few. Go ahead, Mr. Harriet.
Hey, boom, 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 boom. Hey, boom, 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 boom.
Let's get together. Come on and gather around me, children. Let's get together and sing this song. You've got to settle down, children. Let's all join in and sing this song. Sing it, boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey, wanna take the time to thank the Lord, thank Him for the soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land. Even the birds with a sweet song.
Vibration. African vibration.
Boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey! Dance a little, children, while I sing my song. Jump a little bit higher while I sing this song. Sing it, boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka, boom, boom, boom. Hey, get it together. Can you dig it? Boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, 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 shaka, laka, laka.
I say you do that travel. Brother Gravalicious. Oh yeah. I say you do that travel. Everything you run up on, they no want give I done. Everything you run up on, Uncle Joe buck him too. Everything you run up on, but him mother didn't know. Everything you run up on. Oh yeah, my brothers and sisters, they build you up, but now that you reach the top, yeah, you don't remember them. True material things, yeah, but remember I see it kill Mr. Damascus, and the greedy dog lose his bone through the reflections of his own shadow.
Yes, we get a heads up. Yeah, boy, I tell you, YouTube. So we are going to leave out, but we want to see this really and truly. The criterion between right and wrong has been sent to us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty. If we accept guidance, it is not as if we confer favors on those who bring us guidance. They suffered unselfishly for us. They are the prophets, i.e., Christ, Muhammad, Moses, Abraham, all of them, in order that we may be guided for our own good. And on the other hand, if we reject it, it is our own loss. We have a certain amount of freedom. We do. Human beings. We have a certain amount of free will, not freedom. See, that freedom is stuck in my head. We have a certain amount of free will, and the responsibility is our own and cannot be shifted to the prophets sent by God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When in spite of all of these efforts of the prophets of Allah, people do not accept truth, and evil seem to be flourishing for a time, we must wait and be patient. But at the same time, we must not give up. We must not give up hope, our persevering efforts as our grandparents and our parents did before for us to be here surviving. That's to show you the ingratitude of ourselves, because they persevered. For this only can be carried out on the part and the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is that? Through the perseverance and the efforts, God Almighty will sustain us, unless we decide that we don't want to live anymore. You see what I mean? Follow thou the inspiration sent, sent unto thee, and be patient and constant until Allah do declare, for Allah is the best to decide. So the criterion for man is that we should know truth. And when we feel and see truth, we ignore what is wrong, and we do not abide with those who do the wrong. We do not have partnership, friendship, and association with them. Because wrongdoers, people who participate in wrong, they've exercised themselves, their soul, their mind, their efforts in the wrong, whether they are aware of it or not. But for someone else to see that know it's wrong and to participate or join them, that's not entrapment. That's a decision made. So you see, with patience and perseverance and constancy, that is what our parents, especially our mothers, had to go through. All mothers go through that. Patience and perseverance, because once she's pregnant, she cannot haste anything up, cannot induce the birth, the growth of that child. If you have to be patient and have to show some resilience and tolerance, it's imperative. So then who are us that recognize such things and should learn from these things? We become selfish and not recognize the hardship and how our families persevered and the efforts that they had to apply to be what? To be responsible for themselves and for us. And now we don't have no effort for ourselves and for our children, for our families. We want to be British. And convince ourselves that we found love and some form of appreciation. The people them don't even want to apologize. The people that want to even disclose our name, them leave us with their names. And well they know that it's their people's names that we bear. And many of us understand that. So are we deaf, dumb, and blind? And some of us will say, it's been so long ago. Listen, which long ago? If it was so long ago and it's supposed to be out of existence, why are we still here saying it's been so long ago? We're following their narratives. But they don't hear this. O men, now truth has reached you from your Lord. Huh? Now truth has reached you from your Lord. Don't desist. Huh? Don't desist. Receive the guidance and do so for the good. The good of ourselves. The good of ourselves, because we must strive. We must strive. For success. Just like learning, then revising, and then sitting this examination. And everyone wants to pass. But we set out to do the best we can. And a lot of it is based on what? Memory. Can we remember in that moment? But that which we are interested within is what we generally remember more than anything else. And that man, these Caucasians, they know these things. They're aware of these things. So they have prohibited us from educating ourselves and from taking that which we got from them and using among ourselves to raise our standard of life and find that free. That becomes freedom within ourselves. But we can't do that when we're attached to others. And our culture is dumbed down by others. And the images that they give us is theirs. So we must ask ourselves, who really are we? In this earth, among all these peoples. What do we contribute? Tourism? We're servitude slaves for those who captured our ancestors hundreds of years ago. We have not done justice, and we haven't sought justice for them. We want to speak about Jeremy rhymes, reflecting, remembering, commemorating them. That's sad. That's very sad. But we're here where the remembrance historical allegories are rehearsed and recited and reprint and updated on Romans who resided, Saxons, Vikings, Celts, Tudors, Cromwells, Tate and Lyles, Barclays, and the list goes on. And they should be proud of them, of their people. That's theirs. It's not ours. But we were a victim of all of them. Guidance.
Oh! I saw you on labor.
Go ahead, wait. Hey, you. Hey, you over there. You. Hey, you, sir.
We have lost it. Where did we lose our identity? Where did we lose our identity? We're running around like a lonely sheep. Yeah, who's lost his master and has gone astray? Yes, we've lost it. We have lost it. We have lost it. Yes, we've lost it. When are we gonna join in unity? Tell me when. When are we gonna join in unity? Everything else pleases Jah, but it's only man. Yeah, everything else pleases Jah, but it's only man. 'Cause we have lost it. Yeah, we have lost it. We have lost it. Yeah.
Since we got so many things in common, why can't we live as one? God created man that he could live.
Where did we lose our identity? Where did we lose our identity? We're running around like a lonely sheep. Yeah, who's lost is a master and has gone astray. Yes, we've lost it. Yes, we've lost it. We have lost it. Yeah. When are we gonna join in? Tell me when.
Yes, the heads up come again. Now we come to the close. The people them always seem to find a time and switch their little machine on, whatever it is them use. So we're going, Marcia.
farmer, why, and this one is dedicated to all newsmonger, them attack, boy, boy, eradication squad, they bow, boy, boy, them attack, boy, boy, flying squad, they bow,
Yeah, that's for the informer. You know what I mean? Informer, whoever you are. You know what I mean? Just sit down and get educated. You want to promote yourself, whoever you are. So hold this. Yeah. Hold this one here for all Christians.
Well, God bless us, right? Sometimes you feel like you're all alone. Sometimes it's hard just to find a home. Seems like you're searching in the dark, trying to find just a touch of heart. Sometimes you feel like you wanna cry, break down and crawl like you wanna die. Just when you think that all is lost, you find a stream just to get across. 'Cause when you reach for a deeper love, you find a way to rise above. 'Cause I know God watches over us, and no matter where we go, I put my heart in trust, and I just won't let it go. 'Cause I know God watches over us. See, I had my times for the matter beans. I played those games that I couldn't win. I had a hand at to turn it in, 'cause I was scared just to lose a friend. Sometimes you stop and you close the door. You reach inside 'cause you needed more. I can't help but kneel and shout a prayer. Somehow I know there is someone there. 'Cause when you reach for a deeper love, you find a way to rise above. 'Cause I know God watches over us, and no matter where we go, I put my heart in trust, and I just won't let it go. 'Cause I know God watches over us.
Now, I'm not bragging. God gets the glory out of my story. He gave me the strength every day to do what I got to do. And he can do it for you too. All you got to do is ask for it. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 say, ask, and then you will receive. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door will be open for you. Stop sitting around acting like you waiting on God. Baby, God waiting on you. All right now. Toodles.
Scene. Guidance. Sweet, isn't it?